Go.
The performance-based bonuses could also be seen as a form of expectance motivation, depending on how great the rewards are at IKEA. And with the staff training, it could be expected that IKEA employees have the ability to carry out the work. So according to Porter and Lawyer, this would mean that the level of motivation would be the difference between expected rewards and actual rewards. Victor Vroom splits motivation into three factors: valence value, the value someone puts into the outcome or the reward from the task; expectancy, the amount of effort needed to perform the task; and instrumentality, how linked is the performance to gain the reward or outcome. As a result, he views motivation as motivation equals valency times expectancy times instrumentality, signifying that all factors of motivation must be more than zero, otherwise motivation will be zero or have a negative effect. Lehman, Porter and Edward Lawyer were critics of Vroom's theory to the point where they aimed to improve it. They believed it was an oversimplification of how satisfaction, efforts, and motivation relate to one another. Porter and Lawyer believe there is three main factors for motivation. The first is the amount of effort that a worker puts in. This is influenced by the value of the reward they will gain, and the likelihood of receiving an effort-based reward. The next is performance, which is improved by the effort as well as the amount of labour and the ability of the worker in the role needs to be considered when calculating performance. For example, a worker may put in a lot of effort but may not have the ability in their role to give a good performance. Finally, there is satisfaction, which is affected by the previous two factors, as well as the constraints between expected rewards and actual rewards. If actual rewards exceeds expected rewards, the worker will be satisfied. Rewards can be metaphorical, such as self-actualization, or literal, akin to status. An approach that IKEA do not use is the McClelland theory. David McClelland and Chris Argus theories focus on the individual workers. Theories focus on what individual workers can provide the organisation with their traits and personalities. McClelland's theory categorises workers into three needs, which are acquired through the moment people experience in their environment, which are acquired through moments, people's experiences, and in their environments and culture that can only change when a life-defining moment occurs. The first of these needs is high achievers. These people want to assume responsibility for performing tasks and finding solutions, as well as set reasonably difficult goals while taking calculated risks with the desire for performance feedback. The second need is influenced by power. They want leadership roles, their desire to exert control over others, and yearn for influence and control over someone else. The final need is one for affiliation. They wish to be in relations with others. They desire acceptance, approval, and will conform to those whose friendship or companionship they value. As a result, they value the other people's feelings the most. Argus theory views mature workers as the best kind of workers and believes the opposite of immature workers. Mature workers exhibit 7 traits, those being independence, steep interest, long-term perspective, superior position, self-awareness, control, and capable of behaving in many ways. Immature workers demonstrate the opposite in terms of traits. However, Argus believes that a worker can become more mature and develop these traits, but immaturity exists in individuals mainly because of organisational settings and management practices such as task specialisation, chain of command, unity of direction, and span of management, meaning that an organisation must have an environment for growth. And according to Argus's theory, workers who have the ability to become mature will be motivated to work harder in order to achieve their potential. IKEA prefer to grow their employees by creating an environment for them to develop rather than cherry pick employees. This fits in line with Argus's theory. With IKEA covering so many motivation theories, it would be difficult to introduce any more that would improve motivation. However, they could look to enhance what they already do, i.e., for a survey at IKEA Expo, it was suggested that workers do not feel that their amount of pay matches the level of responsibility they have. IKEA could review their pay and development structure.